Hey all, so welcome to the today's tutorial. Today we will see an interesting topic called the mass AIs. So we will add it into the current project. So because very hype is going on how we can add them. So what is the state tree and also we will talk about it and we will add it on project. So it's very easy to implement. So for this what we will do, just go to the game section. For the testing part I'm just using the third person template. So it will be easy. So mass pedestrian. I don't want any starter content or the regressing or C++. Just create. Let it start. Okay, it is up. So first thing you have to do, just go to the plugin section and type mass and turn on mass AI crowd entity. Yes. Mass entity, yes, and gameplay, yes. Just restart and okay. So let it. Okay, it is up. So what are the things which we like in as soon as the Unreal 5 came? So there is a one class which they have added. It's called the zone. So zone safe. Using the zone safe, you can like the AIs, whether it is vehicle or like it's the human AI, like anybody can roam around. So so we will use a zone safe graph. So it's just spline by default spreads and so it will stick. Let me clear out some area. By default it won't show, just zone, type zone, and we will click it, press alt, and we can drag it here and there again. Okay, am I really bad at it? Okay. Sure, let me click it. Okay, this should do the work. Okay, so first thing you need to do is, so this is the zone graph. So right now it won't do anything. So you have to create the data. Okay, here your AIs will respond. So how you will do that? Go to the build and we will click on the build zone graph. As soon as you will click, you see that here it is spawn the zone graph data. So the actual AIs will use the graph data, not this spline tool. This spline tool is just to spawn the graph data. Okay, so we are done with this. Now the next thing is we have to spawn a mass spawner. So it's a actor mass spawner. So this class is responsible to spawn the actual AIs. So let me elaborate it. So we have to enter the count. Let me enter 10. So it will see the zone graph and it will spawn the actual AIs there. In the spawn data generator we have to define what type of generator we do want. So right now we by default it comes with 2. We are not using EQS1, we are using the zone graph one because we are using the zone graph. So just click this, and in the entity types we have to enter the config value which we don't have right now. We will create it. Okay, so let me custom or the MassAI. I always like my stuff to like too much organized. I use blue color uh, for the blueprint usually. Okay, so first thing we do need is the config value. So let's right click, go to the miscellaneous, go to the data asset, and here we will type mass entity config asset. Just press enter. No data m mass entity set, double click it. So by default here you have to like add the traits like which you want to have, like which you want to possess by the player, by the AIs. So there are multiple things which we can ask for like our AI to do. And okay, let's add 11 or 10 in a starting sort fragment. So this is we are specifying the type. So here we will use the mass actor fragment just for the basic, but we have different type of fragments too. If you will explore the uh, if you will explore the matrix map, there they have using the different type of fragments there. So but for the like for the sake of this tutorial only, we are just using the mass actor fragment. Next we want the crowd visualization as like the AI which will spawn, it will be the part of the crowd visualization. So it will be the crowd member too. So crowd member. Next, zone graph annotation. This is rather important. Zone graph navigation. So how the AIs will search their path. So this is for them. And we haven't created the tags. Tags are really important. Like using these values, they will figure out a way. So okay, first we will finish this, then we will come to that part. Next is state tree. State tree is just kind of same like the behavior tree. So we will see how we can configure it. State tree here. Next we want our player like movement to be synced, and avoidance, like if there are more than in a certain area there are more than 2 or 3 players, then they can avoid each other using this module. What else? Steering, we can add, like if we will use the vehicle one, then we need a steering one, else we not. A smooth orientation, it will transition the, like when changing the orientation, the curve will be very smooth. So next is sync, agent movement sync. This I want, and I want one more for the sync, orientation sync. Actually these two part took a lot of time from my side, like when I can't figure out why it is not working, then I realized okay, I haven't added these modules. So these are very important, so you can go through those. Okay, and now go back to the map. Now in the zone graph, we haven't defined the lane profile. So lane profile is, and the new concept with 105 came, in which you can define like how many lanes are there. Like you have just have created the spline, but you don't have the lane data. So just create it. So in the lane profile, it is 0. I'm creating 1, and it's a pedestrian lane, and we will create 2, like 2 and 4, 150, 150. One is backward and one is forward, and we are keeping the width same. Just go back to the third person, and we can change our lane profile to the pedestrian. And for the tags, just make sure that you have default selected. Okay, now I will again generate the data, build zone graph. See, now you can see the lane, like this was our the original spline, and at the left it is 150 distance or the forward and the backward. You can also see the arrow direction. Okay, that's good. What's next? Oh, we have okay, yep, we haven't set the state tree yet. We haven't make them. Let me create it one. Go to the state tree. So it's kind of same like the behavior tree. So m state tree, save. So this is the root. So first we have to tell them like why we are using it. So we have to set the schema. So it will be the mass behavior. So I'm just setting the mass. And now we have to see, this is the evaluator, like these are the data which it's need to go forward. So in the evaluator I am adding, because we are using annotation tag, so zone graph annotation tag, so just select it and add a state here, and I will roam around, and as soon as I'm done with this, like I'm as done, I will go back to the root. So what I will do, I will go to the transaction, go to the state name, and where I want to go, I want to go to the root. So it will be a loop. And in the roam around, what I want to do, so I will create the two tasks. So one will be the zone path follow, and another will be the find vendor target. So these are the two things, path follow. So make sure that you are setting the path follow after the find vendor target, because it will use the, like, path follow will use the data of the vendor target one. So let me configure it for the tags, just select default, and in the render target, now see, it is giving the uh, zone graph vendor target. If you won't place it above it, it won't show. So make sure that you have done it. And movement style, I think default. Yep. Okay, I think I'm done. Compile and save, and like, make sure that it's compiled successfully. You can add more tasks, like you just have to press button and you can add more tasks to it, and according to the like, if it is complete or failed or succeeded, you can go to the different states which you have to find. If you want more complex side of the state tree, just let me know in the comments and I will create more videos regarding it. So we are done with the state tree. So go back to the mass entity asset which we have created and select it. Select your state tree. Okay. So there is one more thing. In the, go to the content and third person blueprint of the third person. Like, choose your AI which you want to use and add a component of mass agent. Just click it, compile and save. Mass agent. So here you have to put the config value, compile and save, and that's it. And by default it's using the the animation blueprint. So I don't want to use the whole functionality right now. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I will use the forward one, and that's it. So walk forward, and let me compile and save. Yes, let me close it too, and we are done with this. Okay, so now the next thing is, we have set the all the parameters in the entity asset. There is one more thing, in the crowd visualizer you have to define, like, what character you want to use. So it is not important that you only use the crowd or the mass character which the plugin everyone is talking about over the internet. So just for the high res, I will use the same for the third, like the third person. I'm using the default third person character. For the low res, for the high res too, like, ideally what should be the case, there should be two entity, and for the low resolution you can just put the low mesh type data and it will be good, like it will be performance effective. Okay, and let me open the LOD representation. So in the off state, use low static low. I'm just setting it, keep low res actor, keep actor extra frame and spread. Okay, okay, everything seems good. Let me simulate it. Okay, nothing is coming. Let me click on show developer and AI debug, just to see if anything is working fine or not. Okay, it is not. So I must have done some mistake. Let me check. Yes, so I have done a mistake. Just choose the mass spawner which we have put it here. We haven't entered the entity config which we have created. So just select the M mass entity asset, and I will turn off the debugger tool for the AI debug, and let's see if it is working fine. So all the AIs are working fine. So this was it. It was very easy and slow tutorial. If you like it, and if you have particular topic which you want to know in Unreal, just let me know and I will make a video for you. If you want further how these state trees are working, just let me know in the comments. But I do like it, like the AIs are playing with the physics. Okay, take care.